Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. It is May 9th, 2017. We have another major story about the earthquakes in Alaska. This headline reads, Alaska hit by 45 significant earthquakes within 24 hours as the West Coast wonders if the big one is imminent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this many times before. We've been seeing a massive amount of earthquake activity. If you just follow my cursor from the Aleutian Islands, moving all the way inward to the Alaskan curve, as I call it, and then downward through the areas of southern Alaska and British Columbia. Now, we all know that the Cascadian fault line and another fault line, well, they lie right here, putting everyone in significant danger. Let's just read the report here. It says within the last 24 hours, 45 earthquakes of magnitude 2.5 or greater have struck Alaska, and 25 of them were of the magnitude 4.0 or greater. The worst one had a magnitude of 6.2, but none of the earthquakes did much damage because none of them hit heavily populated areas. But the reason why all of this shaking is causing so much concern is because the ring of fire runs along the southern Alaska coastline, and all of the earthquakes except for one were along the southern coast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we've been talking about this. I've been talking about this for almost a year now. And we know exactly what the situation is with the Cascadian fault line, and right here along the Canadian border of the United States and the southern part of Alaska. If anything does occur within this Canadian area along the border of the United States, the Cascadian fault line, there will be significant damage to the states of Washington, Oregon, and this will definitely flow down into Northern California. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Now, we're going to go ahead and continue to watch everything that's going on in this area. Now, also, something that a lot of you don't hear too much about is all of the earthquake activity that's been going on for the last 9 months right along the western coast of Mexico. Now, I report on this constantly whenever I do my earthquake report. There are earthquakes every single day, constantly, along the western coast of Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, these earthquakes along the western coast of Mexico are not small. They range in the magnitude of 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. There are some 5s in there. Multiple earthquakes every single day. Now, as you can see, there is one fault line here, and then there is the one fault line that runs right up along the western coast of Mexico. A massive earthquake right off of the coast would definitely create a tsunami situation for everyone along this coastline and into Central America. So, once again, if any of you live in any of these areas, please keep yourself up to date with all of the information pertaining to this situation. The earth is rumbling right now. We're going to keep everyone updated on the earthquake situations around the world as much as we possibly can. Make sure that you have an emergency evacuation plan. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been mentioning, have that bug out bin. Once again, go to your local store, Walmart, wherever. Buy one of those large plastic bins. Make sure it fits in your car, the trunk of your car, and put all of your emergency stuff in there. Change of clothes, medical equipment, food, water, whatever you feel that you need to take with you in an emergency situation, in an evacuation. Make sure you have it in there. Place this bin either in your garage or somewhere where it is accessible. That way, if an evacuation occurs or an emergency situation occurs, you can put that bin right in your SUV, right in the trunk of your car, and you can get yourself out of Dodge. Get yourself to safety. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep up on all of this information coming out of Alaska, Canada, and also the west coast of the United States, specifically Washington, Oregon, and California. If any of you hear of any other information, please, you can send me an email at nibiru planetx2016@gmail.com. And hopefully all of this settles down, but I really don't think it is. As I have mentioned in the past, and I'll mention once again, I knew that we were going to have a very rough month in the month of May 2017. This is Scott from Planet X News. Everyone, stay safe.